All right, welcome to the Libra new moon reading. Back at it again. Excited to be down here in Southern California celebrating my friends' birthdays and going to see my mom, which is its own can of worms, but still grateful I get to do it and grateful I get to sit out in this sun in this beautiful place on occupied Kumbaya land. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But yeah, just thinking a lot about the lands and the peoples of the lands and the people who get to experience this amazingness, and just my own personal gratitude for being able to experience this. And just thinking a lot about a lot of things, a lot of relational things as Libra goes. And so I pulled some cards today. We've got the High John the Conqueror card, aka Morning Glories, the Scarlet card, Two of Swords, and the Spider. And I find it cool and interesting that last week we pulled the Ace of Pentacles, and then we're moving right along in proper order into the two, but today it's the Two of Swords instead of Pentacles. And so I want to talk about this card specifically in Swords, air element, how we think about things, how process, communicate things, so on and so forth. This card is generally like a point of contention because there's all of this that you want to achieve or to do, and there's so many opportunities for your mind to get in the way of what you know you need to do or what it is that you want to do, and so on and so forth. And so this card, usually depicted in like the classic tarot deck as like a person with a blindfold and two swords crossing your heart. And what that means to me, like crossing your heart is your electromagnetic center of your body. It's what's creating the auric field around you, and it's telling you what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what's right for you, what's not right for you. And this is your mind getting in the way of that and complicating that in one way or another. Now it's the two, so it's early on in the story, so you have plenty of time to figure this out, what is right for you and what's not right for you in terms of how you're thinking about things. But I like her symbolism for this card because it's got this eclipse here, the moon eclipsing the sun. And that's, to me, when I see that, symbolically speaking, I'm seeing like the merging of the masculine active and the feminine receptive. And with these two swords crossing it, it's as if we can't allow ourselves to really feel like a healthy balance of inside of ourselves, because our mind or the societal pressures and societal constructs that are on us is stopping us from believing in our own empowerment. And so this is just another step among many steps that will need to be taken in order to achieve what I was talking about back in the reading last week. Like, if you want to like put your energy into your projects, you can't let yourself continually get foiled by your own mind and how you think about things and what is put upon you. So just really think about how you can acknowledge how you're thinking about things, acknowledge how you're feeling about things, acknowledge how places, environments, and people that you're interacting with make you feel, and then make adjustments accordingly. And don't let yourself just get stopped up in the same patterns that you've been doing, like give yourself an opportunity to grow by acknowledging your truth and acknowledging yourself. The next card I'll talk about is the Scarlet card. I love this. It's a really beautiful deep red, so we're definitely talking about root chakra here. And it says below it, success and fortune. And I want to talk about success a little bit because it's interesting to me, like what we may or may not define as success. And I would just pose a question of like, can we have success without trampling on so many just in order to gain that success or that fortune or whatever? For me personally, like, success really looks like having what I need to not be physically ill all the time or mentally or emotionally ill all the time, and to know that I have space to be creative and to do what I know is not only beneficial for me but beneficial for the whole, like the biosphere, the earth, you know, like thinking more globally but also thinking about how working on myself contributes to that. So this is like what I deem success, and I'm really trying to like focus on like what is for the highest good of all, not just for me. And so I would really pose that question for all of us to think about, like, can you redefine success so that it doesn't mean that your success is on the backs of all kinds of oppressed people all over the place? Because we're beyond the point of believing that our actions here don't affect everywhere. The entire world is affected by what we do and the choices that we make. So that is an immense responsibility that we all need to be accountable for. And if we really want success, and if we really want to feel stable and rooted and grounded in our physical reality, which is what our root chakra is talking about, we need to redefine success. Period. And then we've got the spider card, which I always love, a good friend, the spider, and their symbolism of creating their own space, getting what they need by not necessarily by hunting for it, by allowing it to come to them and getting caught in their web. Like, that is another aspect of success that I think we, as well as thinking about success in terms of like not just personal gain but communal gain, also it doesn't have to be killing ourselves to do it. Like, this is the spider energy, is like, how do I weave the web that gets what I need to come to me, and I'm just doing my beautiful thing, and I'm trusting that the universe is going to work it out, or I'll move somewhere else and I'll build a new web, you know? Like, these are the lessons that we want to be pulling from spider right now, and just like allowing life to show us and allowing ourselves to hear our heart and hear what our heart needs and wants, and figuring out how to really truly protect our energy so that we can be stronger, so that we can be more empowered, so that we can create a better whole, a better situation. Because although like I'm super blessed to be here right now and to be enjoying this space and to be with my friends and to be able to visit my mom, not everybody has that privilege. A lot of people actually don't. And so that never leaves my mind. I can hold space for both things, that I'm grateful for what I have, and I also acknowledge that like it's a huge privilege, and we'll all be better off when we're working to have everybody have those privileges instead of just a select few. And this last card, the High John the Conqueror, aka Morning Glory, one of my favorite flowers. I truly love them, and the way that they open to the day and they close at night. And this particular flower, the symbolism behind it has to do with its like tuber root, and it's said to have like sexual energy, which I think of sexual energy as just the energy that we use for everything to get up in the morning. Like, it's not just about having sex and finding more sex or whatever. It's about, that's my kundalini energy. That's the energy that drives me to do anything. And so cultivating that energy in a like specific way is not only beneficial for me, but it's beneficial for all of that I do. And this card also has its roots in African American folklore. It's said to be something that you carry with you for protection. It was said that it was given, or somebody was told, Frederick Douglass, to carry some of it to help evade slave breakers, essentially. Like, also slave breakers, like, yeah, if you don't know, look it up. Look up what really America, North America, United States of America is about. But also, like, we're doing this all over the Americas. Are you kidding me? Anyways, so the symbolism for this is like protection and also evasion. It was said to be something that helped slaves evade and to be able to, like, you know, get out of slavery, like, still in slavery in a lot of ways, to be 100. But this, anyways, the energy of this is really just speaking to how can we be more cunning? How can we draw that into our lives? How can we, like, keep our eyes out for morning glories and watch how they open up to the sun, and how we can open ourselves to the sun, and how we can open ourselves to the different possibilities than slavery. The slavery to capitalism, the slavery to believing that this is the only way to be, when we know that this is not the only way to be, that we can do so much better, that we can care so much more for each other, that we can really live a much more harmonious life. But the billionaires just want to keep their money. They want to go to Mars and terraform it, and they don't care if we all die in the process.